Hi everyone, Sandeep here from BAMTALKS. So today, as part of the Careers mini-series, we'll be talking to Mini Mangat.
Hi.
Okay, so we'll be talking to Mini about a little bit about her career, what she does, and how that relates to the British Asian community. So Mini, what exactly is your career path? What do you do?
So, I've got lots of different hats actually, Sandeep. So, firstly, I'm a mum. I'm a mum of two little people. In my day job, I work in healthcare management, and my other few hats are I am a politician, so I'm a local councillor and elected member in Warwick District, which is where I live, and I'm also a plus-size model. So quite different things there.
Yeah, I love it. You know what I'm like with my different hats. Love that. So what we wanted to basically talk to you about today is a little bit about kind of how your family reacted to your different hats and how they kind of have come to maybe accept what you do and what you enjoy and what you have a passion for.
Sure. Yeah.
So especially related to modelling, kind of how did your family react to that?
So, I mean, I think that at first it was very much around, I didn't even feel like I could tell them, to be honest, because I mean, the other thing is, I got into modelling in my 40s. Yeah. It wasn't when, and even then I still had that thing around, oh, okay, is it going to be accepted or not? But I became, I got involved in politics and I got into modelling around the same sort of time. So I've done it quite later on in my life. And I feel that whilst I still had apprehensions of sharing it with my family, I am my own person and I am that little bit older. So whilst I thought, when I did tell my mum and, it was fine. I didn't actually have that much. I didn't have the reaction that I thought I was going to have, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that, it's good. And also it's the type of modelling and, if you explain what, sometimes when we say model, immediately people think, oh, lingerie model or something that's, and because the modelling industry is very sexualised, it can be. But it was around explaining exactly what it was. But so quite okay-ish accepted, I think.
No, that's brilliant. That's what we like to hear. But did you get any kind of negative reactions off anybody regarding that this was going to be something you were going to do?
Well, being a plus-size brown woman, most of my life I fought off negativity in society. So not just in our own culture, just in society. So obviously sizeism exists in society. If you look at the modelling industry, for me, what attracted me to modelling was I've always been interested in fashion. I absolutely love clothes. And for years I looked at magazines and stuff and thought, oh, aren't they great? And I'd love to be like that. But I never saw myself ever. Never saw anything or anyone that looked like me. Not even the same colour skin, let alone, different size, different ages and things like that. And I just think for me, it was about representation. And I think, like I said, later on in my life, I've got involved in all these things when I feel very comfortable in my own skin now, and for years and years, people, said that, society told me that my body wasn't good enough because it was too big. And I bought into that narrative as well. For years, I bought into that. And then, I can't tell you the pinnacle point of where this changed, but I think I just grew a little bit older and wiser and started to understand that I don't need to please society. In fact, society needs to please me. So that's what kind of, and from then I started, I've always had a big personality. I've always been, I've never been a shy person. So in terms of modelling and being a politician, those things, it requires you to be quite outgoing, and being a politician, it requires you to talk a lot, and I'm very good at that. But, in terms of negativity, if we could talk about the modelling industry, if you like. And again, I still don't see myself represented in that industry. I don't see myself in on the internet when I look at different clothing brands. I don't see the models that look like me. I don't see it on, you know, on the catwalks. Having said that, I did walk in London Fashion Week in February of this year for the very first time, which was amazing. You know, I'd never seen anyone like myself walk on London Fashion Week.
That was amazing. When you posted it, I was like
I mean,
it
was amazing, and I think I was a little bit blinded by all the kind of bright lights and stuff of it. Coming away from it, it was a great experience, you know, and I don't knock it. And I modelled with, you know, I'll talk about Models of Diversity, which is a charity that I am an ambassador for, but I modelled with Models of Diversity, and we were very much, you know, backstage. I could see that lots of the models were coming in and out, getting changed, going back out onto the catwalk, whereas we only had one go in one outfit. You know, we modelled for a great designer, Oliver Jude from Manchester, you know, and I was absolutely delighted, you know, to walk the catwalk in his designs. However, it was afterwards, it made me feel a little bit like, you know, I'm sure that there's tokenism that's being practiced, because you know, we were like a group, and we were like the diverse models, and then we done our stint, and that was it, you know. So I still feel that it's a massive breakthrough, right? There's so much work to be done, so much, you know, and tokenism is, you know, it's my pet hate, is tokenism.
No, that tick box very much does exist, like we've discussed before.
Absolutely. 100%. Although if you look at tick boxes, I do feel that the modelling industry does think that it does not have to conform to equality legislation, and that, you know, it's got a green light to do whatever they want. And I think that's because there's no enforcement, you know, and we do need change in that. And I think I might have mentioned to you, but just for the purposes of anybody who's going to be watching this, I really feel that the government has a massive role to play in the industry in terms of enforcing equality, and also looking at body image, you know, and how it affects people. And there's currently an actual inquiry going on from the Houses of Parliament Select Committee for Equalities. They put out an inquiry, and they're actually gathering evidence, and I think it's till mid-June, around gathering people's lived experiences, and, you know, and how body image affects different people, how it's affected you. So, you know, please, if anybody has got any, you know, anything they want to share, just Google Equalities Committee Houses of Parliament, and you'll find it all there. It's a study about body image, and I'm working with Models of Diversity to collate lots of evidence for that.
How do you feel about your kind of body as of now, and how has that changed over the years?
Sure. So I think my body journey, if you like, is one way to talk about it. All my adult life, I have yo-yo dieted. Culturally being a plus, not just culturally, in society being a plus size woman, always came in negative connotations around being ugly and, you know, not good enough, basically. And I think I spent most of my life being insecure of my body. But like I said to you before, I've always had a large personality, which kind of, I hid my insecurities with my personality, I think, without even knowing it, you know, just like I'd be the life and soul of the party, which I still am. But, you know, for example, people who've known me for years will know up to the age of probably around 40, where this big revelation sort of kind of, you know, started. I would always be very conscious of photos. So if we're taking a photo in a group, or someone's taking a photo of me, I would say face only. You know, because I bought into the narrative that people were like, you know, your body's not good enough, but your face is pretty. You know, it was just that there was that narrative which I kind of bought into, and I thought, well, people only want to see my face. You know, I only want to see my face in pictures because I dislike my body. And actually, I think the dictating of society that my body wasn't good enough for years, you know, it just kind of, it kind of turned itself on its head, if you like, because I started to feel more comfortable in my own skin, and you know, and I actually just thought, you know, I really value myself as a person, and I'm not going to, you know, I'm literally not going to shrink so that society is happy and people are happy. You know, I've criticised myself for years. You know, I'm not a mistake that needs correcting, but for years I thought I was, you know, and I just thought, I think I started to approve what I was rather than criticise. And that's kind of where, you know, I think for the last few years, I have been on a very much on a self-love journey, and very much sharing that with other people as well, because I think that's really important.
100%.
If somebody had shared these things with me when I was younger, maybe I wouldn't have spent 40 years disliking myself, you know. I would say lacking in confidence. Inside, it was, I had insecurities, but I've always perceived myself to be confident. But now I'm my authentic, true self. And I can't tell you how amazing and liberating that feels.
Yeah, I was just going to say to you, it feels completely different when you have that almost like acknowledgement for your own body that you're so powerful, and you don't need to kind of give in to these things online and try and be something that is so normalized, rather than just being yourself, like you're unique as you are. And it's a real shame that our community and our society hasn't yet accepted that. Do think it's really sad. But kind of, how do you want others to feel now when they see models online? So with the work you're doing and things like that, how do you want the younger generation to feel?
I want, you know, I just think that the normalization of anybody to be who they are, their authentic selves, that is utopia, you know. Acceptance, you know, it's more about, you know, and how to kind of almost from a very young age, if you start drilling into young children and young people that it's okay to be whatever you want to be, whatever you are, you know, and it's accepted in society, then, you know, if we'd had that, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation now, you know. And I really, really want young people and other women to feel, especially women for me, because, you know, I do a lot of work around women's equality and politically as well. And, you know, I want other women to really think, you know, really feel empowered to go and be and do whoever they are and be what they want to be and do whatever they want to do. It's so liberating, you know. It's like a freedom from within, if I was to describe it, you know. And nobody can see that by looking at you, you know. I maybe, you know, I've said that this change has happened to me over time. I don't think that I've really changed externally, if you like. All that's different is I talk about myself and my size and what I do. And I do that not because I think I'm amazing, although I do, you know, the self-love part of it is really important. But it's more to share with others. So other people can actually think, you know, well, if somebody like Mini can do that, what's stopping me? You know, and, you know, and I totally believe that, you know, if you're, you know, I'm really a true believer in supporting women and supporting each other, because, you know, your success is not, you know, it's not taking anything away from me, you know, and my failures are not going to be your gains. So it's very much, you know, a journey and supporting each other and sharing, you know, and I feel as though politically, there is a platform there to share as well for me. And I think you know, I'm in a privileged position where I have that platform to share and empower.
Yeah, no, 100%. I definitely think that like empowerment that comes from it, we're managing to reach out to a pool of people where you're accepting what you look like and you're okay with it. I think that is what's most important. The fact that you can look at yourself in the mirror and go, yeah, I look like that. Like,
yeah, and actually just touching on that, it's not every day, you know, it's not normal to feel amazing every day. If we look at the current pandemic, for example, I've noticed myself that I've been on so many Zoom calls, I've never looked at myself as much as I look at myself now. And I think that that is generic in society. And, you know, the danger in that is you start picking flaws as well, again, you know, and then I have to kind of have a conversation with myself again and think, actually, you know, it's fine, you know, you do look at yourself more. It doesn't mean, you know, you need to, you know, even with body positivity movements and, you know, everything that's on social media, and acceptance in society has come a long way. We've got a long way to go, but it has come a long way. But I still, inside, I still have sometimes days and, you know, or moments where I feel, oh, I don't want to, you know, that's not right. I shouldn't look like that. I shouldn't wear that. And then have a word with myself and say, remind myself that I am what I am and I can be anything I want to be. And I think that's the key, because it can be very quickly be a downward spiral, very quickly.
Wow, 100%.
I'm an ambassador for Models of Diversity, and basically we're a charity that we kind of do everything we can for inclusivity to kind of increase opportunities and accessibility for marginalised shapes, sizes, skin colour, age, ability, any difference, you know, skin pigmentation, whatever it might be, you know. And that charity's been, you know, the charity's been going for over 10 years, so you can see that, you know, little kind of breakthroughs are happening, you know. And I think that the work that the charity does is amazing, and I'm a total advocate of it, you know, and it's opened so many doors for me. But even with those doors being opened, I think that, you know, there's still a lot of discrimination in the industry, you know. And sometimes we talk about, if you look at plus size women, they're more accepted now in terms of, they are, you know, you do have plus size sections almost in different clothing brands, and you see them, but I still don't see brown plus size women, and they're still quite young plus size women, so it's still very much, you know. And we talk about the glass ceiling, and plus size women have a glass ceiling, but if you're brown and plus size, that ceiling is a concrete one, you know. You've got to chip away at it, you can't even see the other side of it. It's total darkness, you know, and I'm chipping away at it, and I will probably chip away at it for the rest of my life without seeing the other side. But, you know, I'm prepared to do that, because little chips make you know, they're kind of making a runway for the next generation, if you like, to kind of be able to be okay around that. So
no, definitely like agree with you on that.
Models of Diversity, you know, they are amazing charity, you know, that I would just say, you know, go and follow them and look at their work. And, you know, if nothing else, it'll be just it empowers anyone. You know, you look at anything and you're never going to come away from that and think, oh, you're going to think, wow, everything wows me. You know, I've been with the charity a couple of years now, and everything that we do, it wows me. You know, every new model that we get, anybody, anything, it's always gives me the wow factor, because, you know, it's kind of chipping away and creating acceptance into society. But, you know, like I said, there is still discrimination. And, you know, like if you look at brands, they kind of pick who they want as their influencers, who they want to support, you know, and it's very rarely a brown plus size woman. So there's a lot of work that I want to do around that area as well.
There's a lot of work that still needs to be done. Like we've both said it before, like there is, and I definitely think like slowly but surely we're getting somewhere, and we will.
Yeah, it's one step at a time, and, you know, it's not easy to change cultures, and, you know, it's small steps, isn't it? But I definitely, you know, like I said before, I really feel that government has a role to play in this, to make the, you know, the only way to enforce legislation is through government. The only way to get legislation, you know, we can do campaigns and we can do everything to try and, you know, make things better for people. But ultimately, you know, legislation is there to make people do it because they didn't want to do it, you know. And discrimination is there, unconscious bias is there, and, you know, the Equality Act, if you like, you know, all equality of opportunities, all that type of legislation is there because people don't want to do it, you know, and they're almost made to do it. But it's there and people are still not doing it. So there's the massive gap in the industry.
Well, thank you for that, Mini. That's really, really helpful. And I hope everybody will find this chat interesting.
I can't emphasise that enough. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.